Hello and welcome back to Niar Daily Life. I hope you've been with us the two previous shows, and here we are in the middle of the course of Nordic Islands Adventure Race. I hope you've been dot watching since the last time I saw you. I have been out on the course, catching up with the teams and bringing you the best news back from the course. We're gonna start to go to a recap of the last day and what happened then when we started at Ålesund yesterday. Amazing athletes taking off in a really high pace, chasing down Ålesund to go out on the big adventure of 700 k's to Ålesund. It's amazing. When they came down the mountain, they entered the entrance and the lobby of Holiday Club, the hotel in Åre, and we're gonna watch a clip from there too when the Team Holiday Club entered and did the rope section indoor in the hotel lobby. Där. Så. Yes. Så. That was happy times for these girls, a big crowd cheering them on. Before all this, before the start, there's been tons of work for the athletes already coming up to the race the week before, the days before, getting more and more intense. And we're actually, before we get on to today's happenings, gonna see how Swedish Armed Forces, the current leading team, did their preparations. Sen kanske de inte väger, det vet vi inte, men där
I was here in Åre 2 weeks ago for a race, 5 hours race, and after that I get sick, so I have just been sick for 2 hours, not training at all. So I'm really fresh now.
I think you can maybe bring half.
I'm looking forward for the nature, especially in Norway.
I så fall.
Yeah, of course we're going try to win this race, but you never know. It's so much that can happen. both with us and other teams, and yeah, the equipment and all things.
I put cheese, and then I have sausages in different bags, so that's like a sharing. The preparation is to go stage by stage and prepare as much as you can in the bags, so the transitions will be as smooth as possible. You get the pirog, you get the banana, you get the...
That's something fancy. Your bag is not allowed.
Is it a spoon?
No, you have to eat with...
Fingers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Good, but just to put it here and I'll put it back later. So, then we go for the packraft and rafting stage. It's the same. And before stage 5, you have mjukkonserv. Ja, Oskar sa det.
Ja, för det är det som är...
Vi tänker utanför boxen. Då skulle man kunna flytta...
The strategy in the beginning is to eat so much fresh food as possible, and the longer the race is, you have more like dry food and the bars and stuff, because the heat in the bags always make the food a bit nasty to eat.
An amazing team, really experienced athletes, and Malin taking the lead on the logistics, being her very strength to have control of everything. She's an amazing athlete and an amazing leader of that team. We're going to see more of this team during today's racing. But first, we're gonna go to see what this course is about. It's 700 km and it's a lot of sections going on. Let's break it down to what's been going on today. We have a shorter map here showing the teams leaving from Åre and going towards the border of Norway on their bikes, switching over to trekking, and then back on their bikes again on a massive bike of 227 km over the mountains. Yeah, and from that we're gonna go to the happening on this course. So first section leaving Åre was a mountain bike section, and here we got the American team biking strongly into TA. The ever so happy girls from Holiday Club is moving steady on their bikes, still very happy. Having a little discussion about where the TA might be located, and I can sense the feeling of relief about reaching the TA and getting on to the next leg. It's always a feeling of being ready with the leg, and it's a little small goal and a big step towards the big goal and the finish.
2 weeks ago for a race, 5 hours race, and after that I get sick, so I have just been sick for 2 hours, not training at all. So I'm really really
Once in
fresh
the
now.
TA, you get a good chance to
I'm looking
mentally
forward for
rebuild,
the
but
nature,
this is not a
especially
resting
in
area.
Norway.
All
Yeah,
legs
of course we're going
are connected, and it's
try to
non-stop
win this
racing
race,
all
but
the
you
way.
never know.
The
Too
TA
much
is
that can
just
happen,
for
both with us
packing
and
up
other
your
teams
gear,
and
changing
the
clothes
equipment
and shoes,
all things.
and get going. Teams do this
and then
between
sausages
30,
in
40
different bags,
minutes.
so that's,
The
like a
fastest
shearing.
teams,
The
the
preparation
first
is to
days
go
coming into a race
stage by
are
stage,
usually faster.
and,
Maybe they
prepare as
can
much as you
do a
can,
transition in 15
in the
or
bags,
20
so
minutes.
the transitions will be as smooth as possible.
The American
You
team
get
has
the
moved
pirog,
out
you
on
get
the
the
trek,
banana, you
and they
get
are
the-
waiting for the holiday club team to catch up with them because of their
No, you
local
have to eat
knowledge.
with,
Which is always appreciated among
Good, but
foreign
just put it here
teams,
and I'll
and
put
it's
it
a
back
good advantage to
later.
get
So-
on the tail of a local team that
Then
might
we
have
go
a
for
little
the,
more knowledge and a little more
Parcraft and rafting
experience
stage
of the
is the
terrain and the
same.
maps.
And
They
before
seem to be
stage
moving
5,
steady,
you
and
have
as they get the chance on these treks, it is running actually that is
Då skulle man kunna flytta.
the form of moving. So
the
they
strategy
keep
in the beginning is to eat so
switching
much
between
fresh
running and
food as
trekking
possible,
just to
and
keep
longer
the body
races,
okay,
you
but
have
still move
things
as
like
fast as
dry food
possible.
and the bars and stuff, because the heat in the bags always make the food a bit nasty to eat.
My camelback is full, so it's just it's really just this guy.
Does that have powder in it?
Yeah, there actually might be an empty one of these right there. Yeah, I can feel it sticking out. Actually, oh yeah, fill that one, and I'll just fill this with my
All right.
water bottle.
I'll meet you down there.
Oh, there's finally a Northing.
I'll just wait for you.
Huh? Go ahead. Go get started.
I think we take the
Water is sometimes a big issue on these races with dry ground or moving high up in the mountains with not very many streams. But on this race, refilling water won't be a problem for the teams. These girls truly keep their spirit high, running out on the treks, happy about bodies being all good, up and working, and they are moving along. As time goes by, you go between focusing purely on the goal and pushing your team, and at moments you tend to be mentally somewhere else, but keep moving at all times. But joke around, having fun with the team is an important part of the spirit and the team dynamics to keep the motivation high during such a long race. And the longer the section gets, the more this is needed, because change, as I said, is always welcome, but when you keep on the same leg for a very long time, that is very different. Here we see one of the French team moving towards the first peak of Middagsfjället. took 3 absolute ride. They surely also look happy. It's been a little less than 24 hours for them walking into this stage, and this is a crucial time of the race because you have a tendency to move at a high pace the first day, but after 24 hours the pace will drop, and how much it drops depends on how hard you've pushed yourself. As a female racer in the team of 4, with always
it's Swedish.
one
Yes,
female
but it's a
in
Swedish
every
with
team,
more.
I've experienced
deep
some really high
in it.
paces during the first 24 hours. Then the guys tend to drop, and a lot of females tend to get stronger through the race. And as we can see here, she is truly leading the team up this hill, keeping them from starting to walk and drop too much.
Do you feel strong?
Feel strong?
Yeah?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good luck, guys.
Moving towards the top, we catch up with the Canadian team, Storm Race Canada. They love the hills and the wet ground.
Hello. How's it going?
We started to have a discussion about feet already in the very first show of the daily live. And as you can see here, the anticipations about the ground being very wet was all right. The teams was also a little worried about the weather, but so far the weather has been playing with us, and we didn't have any rain and not too much cold during night either.
You like the hills?
The teams have been pretty comfortable and been able to keep moving.
Everything's
We got some reports of heavy fog on the last hill just at CP13, and we're gonna come back to that a little later because that caused some troubles for some of the teams with hard navigation and no sight at all. Navigating, as we said before, with map and a compass. Absolutely no electronic GPS whatsoever that could help them navigate. You're not allowed to bring any such thing, and nothing to help you count the distance or your steps. It's purely navigation skills that will take you to the finish. We get a chance to catch up with the leading team, Swedish Armed Forces, moving on the top of Storlien. They look determined, and they are looking for the trail that will lead them to the CP and then down to Storlien. Passing the top, and as you can see, the fog has been haunting them, and Malin said it was very humid and that made it quite cold, but she's still moving in her shorts. So, and as you can see, Jon too. So there is no stopping and getting dressed to be too comfortable. It's all about moving forward. The teams have no idea what's going on behind them, and this team dearly want to know if there is someone chasing them, but they don't get that kind of information at all during the race. When they come into TA, they will know what teams are ahead of them and how far ahead, but looking back over your shoulder, you have no idea. There is also a lot of possibilities to pass a team by choosing different routes. So as a leading team, you can't be too sure all the time that you're actually leading. As long as you're on the right path, you can be pretty certain. But if you do a small navigational error, teams can sneak by without you seeing them. And you won't know till you enter the next TA. Out of the fog of the top and CP13 comes Hamilton, hot on the heels of Swedish Armed Forces. As a racer, you are very tight with your team, and you often feel very like you're very alone, like there's no other people in the world at times. And there's always a happy moment seeing some media or some staff on the course, just some people that will bring some new energy into the team just by their appearance, and that is always good for any team at any point. We had a chat with this team, and a lot of question about their pace in the beginning among the audience was that they were going so tight with Swedish Armed Forces, and will they make it? Are they experienced it enough? Are they will they endure this when they kept so tight with them, or did they go over the limit? But we had a chat about this, and this team did a race earlier this year in Spain where they said themselves that they went too hard and blew up, and they're not going to repeat this mistake. But with that said, they are strong runners and did a flawless navigation on the mountain bike section, catching up with Swedish Armed Forces and riding together with them, taking advantage of being in a big bunch, breaking less wind for every team. So they were very happy with coming into the trek together with Swedish Armed Forces, but then decided collectively to let them go and do their own race, so they won't risk to go to blow up once again as they've done before. This is a young team. The experienced captain Maria put this team together for last year's Nordic Islands Adventure Race as a young up-and-coming team. They're all great athletes from different sports. Leading the way down here is Christopher, a former football player of high level, moving into adventure sport and doing some really good results with some potential in kayak, but he's a strong runner for sure. Here in the back you can see the navigator Eric, coming from orienteering, being really experienced with the map and compass, and the team is also very cheerful and supportive, and that makes for good navigation in the team. The navigator has a big responsibility, and Eric has been taking on this responsibility with great success, and I'd say that the rest of the team have a good part in that because they support him in every decision and every moment. And that is important to
the track
be
was
feel
interesting.
safe as a navigator to
It's
keep
one of those
moving.
things where the marshy conditions were a little bit tough at times because of the just kind of up and down and up and down and up and down, but it was fine. It just kind of hurt on the feet, right? It's nice to be on pavement now for a bit. We don't have a lot. Well, I mean, I guess we have a little bit of that in Canada if you go up north, but at least around Toronto you don't. So definitely different from our training ground.
Det är skönt att slippa den här mjuka myren och mossan.
Yeah, back to Hamilton and the last guy being a former enduro motorbike racer. They put up a high goal for already last year for Nordic and did very well, learned a lot when we asked them, and they are eager to be even better. This is for sure an up-and-coming team. They're learning a lot from every race. They felt well, very strong when we met them, and they were in no pain. And as for all the teams we met, actually, there were no complaints. Everybody was happy. They had the wet feet that we were talking about, but no problems yet. The only one with a bit of pain was John of Swedish Armed Forces, but he is also one of the toughest racers on this course at this moment. So I wouldn't be too worried of that being too big of an issue for this team. He will keep moving as long as the team keeps moving. He's just gonna follow. The navigator up in front here, Oscar, is a former skier with great results from Valhalla as a winner. And he switched over to adventure racing just last year and did the premiere at the actual World Champs, which was a really long and tough one at Union Island, where the team was fighting a lot of troubles and pains. And already the first day, Oscar took a fall and broke his ribs. But he's back, eager for more. And I'm really happy to see him.
Halva monstersträckan gjord. Börjar göra lite ont i benen. Jag tror att man har starka dagkompisar. Här är en övergång, men kanske bara för perrongen. Men vi är inte framme där riktigt ändå.
Nej, men det känns inte... Ja, det får jag chanser.
Det brukar inte vara övergång över perrongspåren här. Det brukar vara efter. Men det är en undergång, varför är det ritat ett streck så då? Ja, där får vi fint.
That was some great footage from the teams racing and fighting out there. And as we move on after this live feed, we're gonna go out on the course and we're gonna keep catching up with the teams and watching carefully over their progress. I hope you're doing the same, going to the live tracking and looking at the GPS dots moving along the course. We have little trouble at some points to see them. They move in dark non-coverage areas, and that makes a little extra for the excitement for you as an audience, because when they pop out in coverage again, you will see a big move. And that's what they've been up to when you couldn't see the dot moving at all. And you never know, it might be them going to sleep or it might be the coverage. So it adds to the excitement, I'd say. But keep watching and we're gonna learn more about Dutch washing as we move on. But it's for sure addictive, so I wanna raise some awareness of that. I take no responsibility. We have asked for your questions and we are super happy to get them. Keep asking them on our social media, on Instagram stories or Facebook. Follow us at Nordic Islands AR in social media. Some of the questions we answering as we go along with the live feed from the course, but we're gonna take some extra here right now. You asked about what we eat before and how we sleep before a race like this. The most important thing is just to keep eating as much as possible, because you want to be as prepped as you can when you start. And starting so late at night, the only thing you can do before is to just sleep in the morning as long as you can, because you know that that's the last sleep, and that always feels a little extra nervous. You get some extra nervous about that, but just sleep. The most important thing I'd say is how you slept the week before, and also what you have been eating the weeks coming up to the race. During the race, what we eat, we're gonna get back to that later in the week, and we're gonna talk to some teams, and we might get some footage from their food packs. We're looking forward to that. But yeah, keep watching on the live tracker and on Instagram, because that's where it happens 24 hours as the team keep moving to Ålesund. I'll be back with you in 24 hours at 6 o'clock and bring you even more good news and great stories. See you then.